sure that was normal. All right. A few things we got to address here is this chunk that's took out of the back right here. All right, we got to fill that in. Oh, look at that little guy there. Come on. Move along. He's not happy, but he's gone. Yeah, we got to do something about this battered edge here. What I'm going to do is try to put a piece of metal. It's another splinter. I'm trying to put a piece of metal in this groove right here and fill in with bondo back here in this edge. But yeah, we're going to start working on this back and get this back in order. Get this back looking in good shape. The main reason we've really got to, for one, we're going to put Formica over this, and it's going to cover all this. So I'm not too concerned about some of the spots on here. However, spots like this, that Formica is going to be hanging over here. For one, I'm going to use a flush bit cutter, and it's going to go down this edge. And any imperfections I have in this edge, that's pretty much the mark that my cutter is going to follow on my router. So I need a nice straight edge all the way down, and it also has to be straight on the inside on this. So that's really trying to figure out if I want to do this in bondo or not. If I do this in bondo, it's always going to be a weak spot. However, I can't exactly cut this off and put another piece of wood right in the middle of it. So we may have to just bondo this and then, you know, make sure we don't ever, make sure there's not any straps or anything like that around the sides, because that's probably what's done this, is straps off of hand trucks being wrapped around it. So, got another little spot right up here, another one down here. So, now if we're doing that, when we get the bondo done, we'll sand all that up and all this down. Paint the back, and then we'll do the side. I actually need to sand that before I can put any bondo on it. I need to sand that, get any loose splinters and pieces like that off. But I just painted the other side of it, so I don't want to do any sanding on that. What I am going to do is we're going to work on this front piece right here a little bit, find out what all we got to do to make this work. This is going to be tricky because once this piece is put in, I can't put the Formica on the front of it because of, well, I can't get a router around it to cut it out. I can cut the center out, can't cut the outer edge on it. And if I put it in, this has got to be glued and stapled on. Is it shot on from the inside or the outside? You know, it may be screwed on from the inside. I need to double check that. If it's screwed on from the inside, I might be able to get away with it. I can put my laminate on it, trim it all out, and then put it on. I don't think I got to worry about this piece under here. It's not going to be seen. But then again, it wouldn't be that hard to do anyway. It's pretty splintered up. I may have to replace that piece. So, all sorts of extra holes in there. I'm going to take this lock bar off here. That's the where the lock for the door catches, I believe, for the coin door. Oh, that large clunk we heard was my drill, still inside the cabinet. Fortunately, I got another one. So we can't forget this little jewel. This one's going to be fun to patch up and fix. And I can assure you these flathead common screws probably won't be the ones I put back in here. One of the options I thought about doing is covering this with laminate, cutting out the center, figuring out some way to make sure the edges cut it to fit, and then put this piece in, shoot it in with a nail gun and glue it to the front, and then after, you know, since I already had this cut to fit, then stick it in there and route out the center. Decisions. Boy, guys, that front is a lot worse than I thought it was, and I don't know what they painted that with. Probably Rust-Oleum. Whatever it is, they put it on with a brush. It looks like we're gonna break it on down to 80 grit first. We got some busted edges and corners here. You can see right here, this one here's busted and delaminated and not laying flat. Looked like at some point somebody put some bondo in a couple spots. This thing's been, man, this thing's Swiss cheese. And then right here's a high spot here that's, I gotta figure out what we're gonna do here. See right here where this is split and it's swelled up a little bit. And I put my laminate over it. It's gonna make this nice little high spot. And since it's gonna be smooth with a high spot in it, it's gonna stick out and look bad. We got two options on that, okay? Option A, I can get a chisel and I can go underneath this and I can break this little layer out and it'll lay down, and then I can fill it back in. Option B, I sand it until it's flush with the rest of it, which will be a little bit tough to tell, plus it might always have an air pocket under it. Let's peel it off and fill it in. Well, while looking for a wood chisel, I found this rasp with a chisel end on it, so we're going to use it. You know, because we just mix all of our tools together around here. Like I said, I just want to break out that piece that's not laminated there. corner where that nail was holding that little tiny piece on there. We got a lot of holes. We'll probably fill them in. We're not going to go too deep into making them look pretty. We're not going to ever see them. We're going to cover that all up with our laminate. However, I don't want little dimples on my laminate. So, we're going to get some dowels. Fill that in. Some of these other larger holes here, and here where somebody had a lock bar on it at one time. That's a little bit big to be smeared bondo over. Get another mixing board here. And we're done. That is turned into old bubble gum, just like that. Do, 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 do. I really need to get some new spreaders. They're like $1 a dozen at Harbor Freight, something like that. They're really cheap. I just need to get my butt up there and get them. I just haven't had time to hitch up the wagon and the mule and everything and head into town lately. No, it's been busy out there, guys. And yep, I know I'm putting it on there thick, but that's okay because we're gonna grind it down. Whatever sticks up is gonna be sanded off with the board sander. Body file, whatever the kids are calling it nowadays. Dang, it always seems to be just one more batch. One more batch. am learning about this bondo is it is never not enough of that blue hardener. I put little tiny batches in there, and this stuff will still kick rock solid. I think I'm gonna go back to using the automotive bondo after this. I'm just not really seeing an advantage to this, or maybe I just haven't done it in so long. I think it's the same bondo with different color hardener. I don't know, it's supposed to be construction bondo. All-purpose bondo putty designed for interior and exterior home use. All right there, buddy. Guys, kitty. I don't have to go over here and break this up. Not out for you. Alright, trying to figure out what to address here. So we need something metal to put across this that we can build our bondo to so it doesn't grab onto this door here. Got an idea, guys? We're going to use some of this fold duct tape. I'm going to fold it over and use it and just build us a little nice little neat little mold right there. I got to get my drill. That's kind of the idea right there, but you know, when you do it, you kind of want to make sure that it's far enough down to do some good. Like that. I got a better idea what we're going to do here. All right. We're going to try do this a little differently. We're going to try to see if I can find a new printout of this. I'd like to replace that one. Then we'll sand this all back down to nice, clean, bare wood, and it'll look good as new. All right, so what we're going to do here, we're going to take our tape. We're going to go down this side right here. We're going to go see what the cat's into. All right. Now that we saved the cat from the door that it got trapped behind, fold that over like so. And you know what? I'm gonna see if we can do both sides once I figured out where I set my tape. Behind me. There it is. All right. Looks good. All right. Let's see. Oh, got a little wrinkle there, but we're not quite stuck down, so we can fix that. Slowly work that edge over until we got a nice 90-degree edge sticking out there. And then I'm going to ease the back door back on like that. And that should give us a nice detachable piece. We'll still have a few little edges here and there that we're going to have to straighten out. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump it all the way over to that side, to one side, do that, and then I'll break it loose and push it over here, flush to the other side, and then do it. So, all right, I'm going to pop a screw in there. You know, while I got the back door off, I'm going to retrieve my other impact. Here my son's finally done cutting grass, or at least he's had enough grass cutting for the day. Here in Florida, it's so hot you can't stand to cut the grass during the day. You got to wait till in the evening, just before dark. All right, let's get a nice close-up of what we got here. See, now I can just fill in bondo, build up off of this, and just fill it up out to here. Thought I'd use a fresh piece of cardboard here to mix this bondo up, but maybe I should have stuck with the other one. It was nice and bondo treated. All right, guys. Strange thing happened. My camera started overheating, which is really weird. But anyway, now it's cooled down. All I really did was put some bondo in this corner right here. And once it cures, we're going to come back tomorrow when this is good and solid. We're going to shave this all down with the line sander, board sander, that thing. Have these pieces over here, sitting here. We're going to hit them. I'm going to pick up some wooden dowels tomorrow and try to cut off a piece to fill that hole in. That's a pretty good sized hole. I'd say it's about a ½ inch. So I want to fill it in with something more substantial than just a chunk of bondo that's probably going to fall out. I'm already worried about this right here not being stout enough. But here's our line sander I was talking about. We'll shave all that down tomorrow. Don't sit that up there on top of there, Derek. Sit that over there because we just painted the top of that. Speaking of paint, you can see we're looking good on the inside here now. Yeah. Looking real good there. All right. And we kept this nice and bare because Well, actually, yeah, I want to keep this clean. Yeah, yeah, that's gonna go on there. This is gonna glue on there. A little piece of tape still in there that's got to come out. But yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. This right here looks hopeful, looks promising, and then we still got so much more to go. So much more to go. Hey, that ain't no scratching post there. We're making progress this week. Fixing to burn, churn and burn through it. I'm tired. It's late. All right, so it's the next day. Another day. Got our bondos hardened up pretty good, pretty thick. Good times. Let's see if this will hold things down a little bit better. When you're using this thing, you want to make sure you get as much surface area down as possible and to work in this direction and to keep it flat as much as possible. So that way you don't want to wear a groove in one spot. Although you kind of want to work on the high spots first too. You start getting off the edge too much, you'll start rounding your edges off. So you want to try to make sure you stay up there on top of the main surface. Slowly getting there, and I mean slowly. Slowly. Alright, I got a couple little spots here and there that I'm not too worried about. I really just want to get this flat. We're going to glue laminate over it. I'm not worried about little pinholes here and there. I just got to get it flat. Can't have no high spots. Can't have no waves. It's all got to look good. Probably going to squirt some glue under this edge right here where it's delaminating. Clamp that down. Still got a little bit right there in the middle I want to knock down. Okay, now we're going to get to that little spot there that needed gluing in that corner. All right, put this somewhere safe. Like that, easily easy to trip over box. Seems like a good spot. We're going to start on the next bolt. Don't mind the mess, guys. It's the maid's day off. Okay. The big one here. Still didn't get any dowels. I gotta get some wood dowels. Not only I only need like a half-inch dowel to fill this little hole here, but we're also going to need it when we put our laminate on, and you'll see that when we get to it. But all right, we're going to shave this down again. Well, this one's going a lot easier because, you know, I didn't put it on like a madman. I didn't really slap it on like stucco. All right, I think we got that one slicked up and ready to go. Other than that little spot right there. Now we're going to get over here to where I truly lost my mind. This corner right here. Whew. Yeah. I had bondo to spare on that one, didn't I? Get the fan going. All right, I think the best way to do this is just going to be to lay it down. Oop, get up here. All right, so I think the best way to do this, I'm going to set the sawhorses back up in their low mode. And I'm going to lay this cabinet on its side on them and then work on this edge. It's just wobbling around and teeter-tottering, and it's going to take a lot of attention. I got to focus on it. Now we can thoroughly operate on this here beast. As we look around, wondering where our tools are. See, our full tank did its job by not sticking to the bondo and keeping that clean. Alright, this is a learning process here, figuring out what works and what doesn't. But I'm going to pull that door back off to clean up that corner. saying. It's like it's bondoed together or something. How about that? He's holding. Guys, she is solid. She looks good. I don't want to mess with it too much, but it feels pretty strong. I do believe it's going to be fine. I'm going to take a closer peek at that. But, yeah, that's going to look pretty good. I got a few spots I got to take care of, mainly right here, because like I said, the guide, when I run that flush bit cutter, the little bearing guide on the end of it's going to run on this edge. And this edge isn't straight. Whatever groove is here, that's what our edge is going to look like. So, still got a few little spots we got to take care of, hit them up. Guys, we got to wrap this project up soon now. I'm about out of bondo. When I run out of bondo, I get a little cranky. Once again, way more than I need to be mixing up. And I wonder why I'm out of bondo. Probably because it all ends up becoming that pile of dust over there in the floor. All right, well, we're going to let tonight's peanut butter concoction cure. Home tonight, it's like 10 o'clock, and I haven't had dinner yet. I'm going to go have dinner. Catch an episode of Umbrella Academy. We'll be back out here again tomorrow night. All right, so it's another day. Got this edge right here. We got it looking really good. You can see right here, we've got a lot of our nooks and crannies and uneven edges all filled in. I think I said this before, I'm not worried about the texture on this side. We're going to cover all this up. All right, I just needed a nice flat edge for my guide or my router to follow across here. Right? Because any bumps or imperfections that the guide hits is going to transfer into my cut. So, cat along, Sophie. But I also went over this with some 80 grit. Got this kind of sanded down. Wanted to knock off anything loose and any high spots. These bolts, these holes here, we're going to reuse. So we don't want to fill them in because we'll have to, still got to re-drill them from the other side. Yeah, I'm happy with this side. Kind of wish that I could figure out some way to save this number stamped in the top right here and transfer it into the new material, but you know, it is what it is. This is a restoration. It's not all going to be all original. So, but all right, we're going to get this stood up and turned over and start on the other side. And maybe we'll be done with the bondo. Because I'm starting to get sick of it.
did pretty good on that first coat. I'm going to come back and add a little bit here, and a little bit here. But I think everything else I'm happy with. I'm happy with the rest of that. So we can get one more coat, put another layer on this edge here, sand it out, and I think we'll be bondo done. No more bondo. Finally. Bondo is just so slow to work with. All right, that's looking good. That is looking good. This side went quick. There wasn't a lot of damage on this side, so it went quick. I got probably about an hour and a half in this, so let's stand it back up. All right, so now we're gonna work on the back, get the door on it, hit the door in the back, make sure everything's squared up. Decide what we're gonna do here. I was gonna leave this unfinished like original, but I think I'm actually gonna take these screws out, pull the plate off the back, and sand it, just knock it down. Not a whole lot of attention here, but just clean it up some. Make sure the inside's all right and blow it out. I may hit the sander around the bottom to break off some of that loose dirt and dust, and then blow it all out. Clean these little screws out here. The heads of the screws seem like they got, I don't know, like dirt and grime down in them. Wonder if this cabinet was like set on its back in the dirt and got drug around or something. But they're really caked up. Like almost too caked up to get a screwdriver in. We'll give them a little tap to kind of knock out the dirt. It also helps loosen the screws some. You kind of give it a little turn and then hit it, and it'll kind of like force the screw to follow the head of the screwdriver without rounding the screw out. There we go. And we've just stolen this cabinet's identity. Well, that looks a lot better. All right. That's looking a lot better in there now. Nice and clean. I still wouldn't eat out of it, but it's a lot better than it was. Kind of want to paint this inside edge, this top here, this bottom, and the back door. The best thing to do would be to tape that up. So we're going to put some tape on here. I'm not really too worried about in here. It's kind of going to be black anyway, so we'll go ahead and leave that uncovered. Mostly just worried about what's down in the bottom here. All right, let's go get our selection of paint now. While we're mixing our paint, let's hydrate because it's hot. And that's that. Other than the back door. I don't even know why I put tape over that. It wasn't like I was going to paint around it. Since this decides which way it wants to spin. That way. Oh, I wonder how how bad we're gonna tiger stripe this thing. Alright, I probably tiger striped the hell out of that, and it doesn't look like I even had the camera facing the right way. So, batting 1,000 right now. Alright, we're gonna let all that dry. Got exciting. It's about to get exciting. It's gonna get really exciting because our next thing is going to be putting this Caribbean blue Formica on the side of there. Man, you can, and that color match is crazy. It's amazing how that's the same color. And it doesn't matter, because when it's done, it's gonna be done. It's gonna be blue, Caribbean blue. So, but we're done for now. See you next time.